So I'm at my first race for the season. I'm actually really nervous today. So I'm at my first race for the season. Late September. You might remember me coming out from the last season feeling not so good about myself. Having problems with being slow, being scared, and nothing really worked. So I had a full season without racing. I missed 2 races that I could have participated in, but I decided not to. Just didn't feel like it. I've been riding, and actually I've been following quite a tight schedule to me. At least it's the most structured training schedule I've been doing. I did kind of skip practice today because I've been riding these tracks before. I'm actually really nervous today.
All right, we're off.
Up.
Kind of tricky section here. Important to keep your momentum out of that chunky stuff.
Fuck.
It's maybe hard to see on camera, but it's quite slippery here actually.
Okej. Kom igen nu. Vad dåligt kör nu. Kom igen.
Really not happy about my performance. I'm not riding relaxed. I'm afraid of the slippery stuff. And a lot of this part is kind of off camber, so yeah.
Up.
Coming up on the chunky part.
Rider.
That's steep. That's the first victim of today's race. There were actually quite a few crashes. Come on, man, pedal it out.
Pretty okay, Ron. I've been practicing here some, and actually been getting some PRs in, which have made me feel really good, because it's been like 2 years since I had a PR here, and it's my results the last 2 years has just been slower and slower. That gives me some motivation for this race.
Stage 2, the most pedally stage. I don't really like this stage actually.
Don't go 100% already. Remember that awful climb.
Yeah, there's an awful climb in the middle of this stage. It's a stage that's very hard to be fast on. There's not much of elevation, and has a lot of awkward janky stuff. Like this section, for example.
Come on.
Although I guess you could blame it all on my technique and physical inabilities. Let's fast forward a bit here. I'm just so tired here that it doesn't go well.
Okay, find composure.
Moving into the short and challenging part of this stage. This stuff is steep and slippery.
Okay, let's go. Fuck!
Yeah, it's a bad mistake. Not being able to make that corner. Cost me a few seconds.
However, I was hoping for this to be a dry race. It has been raining the last day. The weather is super nice today, but it's wet in the forest. And there are some sections that they kind of scare me in the dry. So they scare me even more in the wet.
So usually the stage just goes straight ahead here.
Fuck!
But since I hadn't practiced this stage, I wasn't aware of that.
Fuck, man.
That mistake cost me a lot of seconds.
To retape the stage. Never seen that stage, that line before.
And it kind of took my whole focus.
Fuck. Okay.
So now I'm riding this part really badly.
Find focus again.
So close to going over the bar there.
Oh, that's not finding focus.
Clipped my pedal into rock just before I was going down. Into the next worst pedaling section of this race. Alright, time to descend again. Another steep and slippery section. Back on the pedals. And for the final chunky section of this stage. Where I for the first time have learned how to go through this section. I always had to put a foot down earlier. Not sure why I had to put that foot down anymore. It was all in my head. Chunky stuff.
That wasn't a perfect run. 2 big mistakes, but the rest was quite okay, so maybe it'll be an okay time anyway. Seems like many people had problems. Alright, I'll try.
Stage 4, this is where we're beginning to get into the really steep stuff. It has a really steep ending.
Whew, that was too slow.
Yeah, almost didn't make that gap. And this corner is tricky to do with speed. This is a critical section of this stage. This off-camber, wet, slippery stuff. You need to be on the high line not to lose a lot of speed. Alright, here comes the steep part. Didn't make that corner, had to put a foot down. This is steep stuff. Nice result.
I keep doing these small mistakes. I guess it's partly just from it being slippery, but also to a big extent, I think, to me, my mental block with slippery conditions. I stiffen up and find it so much harder to keep the line and flow. But it seems like a lot of guys have problems today, so I'm just happy I'm here and doing it. And I mean, 2 weeks ago I was really scared for this track, and then I practiced it a few times and I've started feeling confident with it, doing it in the dry. Then when I understood it's gonna be slippery on race day, that scared me a lot, but I'm here and I'm doing it. That's what's important.
All right, the steepest stage with the one section that scares me most. Kind of pedal it first. Now we're starting to descend, going for the steep stuff. Important not to lose the line here, to slide out, which I did a bit. Alright, so here comes the scariest part. But I have a good line. And then I just do some stupid mistake. And totally fuck up. Not sure what the hell I was doing. I had a nice line, I should just relaxed and rolled through it. Too bad, since this historically is one of my best stages. New line had opened up then to the left. Hadn't seen it before. Probably would have gained a second or two. This end part is new from previous races. And that's where Mileta went for an early Christmas tree. Happy that this part was kind of dry. That kind of steep off-camera stuff is sketchy.
That's just sloppy and bad. It was an unnecessary fucking crash. Just for me tensing up. I had a good line, everything was good. Should have just relaxed and ridden it. Oh, fuck me. I'm at the start of the second to last stage. And these last two stages, I've done the most scary stages. After that also feels great. Gotta keep my concentration up though, because it's slippery today. Something could go horribly wrong very fast, even though it's not that technical or scary. The hand that I hurt earlier this year when I crashed, I had a cast for a couple of weeks. Actually started hurting after that last crash. I hope I didn't open up something.
All right, this is a new stage in this race. It's not super steep or super sketchy, just a regular trail. It does have a pedal part in the middle though that I kind of hate. Quite a big drop. All right, now we're going into the pedal part. Man, I wonder how much time I'm losing here. Oops. Come on, man, put a power down. All right, back to descending. Nice with some support. Kind of tricky section to be fast on. Lots of small stuff going on the ground.
Not a bad run. I just wish I had some more power in my legs on that pedally stuff. Is it like nervousness that makes me so weak in my legs? Kind of feels like my legs are nervous. You know that nervous feeling when your legs gets weak? I kind of feel like that when I have to pedal. I just have nothing in my legs. I was riding a couple of days ago, my legs felt a lot stronger. Or is it just that I haven't recovered from that last training session? That's strange. Alright Dennis, the last stage. It's all downhill from here. This is actually the stage that me and Ollie, that guy, practiced earlier this year. Historically this has been one of my slowest stages in this race. Probably the easiest stage, but...
What's up?
All right, final stage.
Oh, so much drier than earlier today.
Am I gonna smash this stage as a result of my previous training with Ollie? I think I had a pretty good flow in that top section. This is probably the trickiest section of this stage. It's quite chunky. This corner is, well, it's a hard corner. And I totally failed doing that line me and Ollie practiced. Kind of went on the inside, kind of an Ollie line. Almost lost it there. Just get away from the goalpost. Great result though. Alright, so before we take a look at the end result, let's compare my racing with some of the faster dudes. Let's see if they just beat me on everything or if I can keep up with them in some sections. This will be an interesting learning to see where I need to improve the most. First up is Niklas. He's definitely a level above me, and I think he's had at least one podium in the local Enduro Series. Notice how Niklas goes straight to the bushes here and immediately gains like a half a second on me. But after that I kind of keep up pretty good, I think. And at this first spot he's won 1.5 seconds on me. The next section is pedally at first, and Niklas immediately gained some meters on me. Look for that sneaky right-hand line where I go over the gap. Not a good move from me.
Oh, that was too slow.
And then I'm very hesitant into this corner and the seconds are ticking. Another 5.5 seconds he pulls away from me. Now look at this short uphill. Niklas just destroys me. On that really short section, he gains 2.5 seconds on me. Now it starts pointing downhill again, but it's quite hard to be fast here. It's a slippery off-camber section. And at this part, Niklas really starts pulling away from me again. And he gains another 3.5 seconds. I make a mistake after this turn, so let's just cut here and move to the next stage. Okay, let's take a look at stage 6. I'm fighting it out with Hugo. He's also definitely a rider that's one level above me, and I think he's had at least one podium in the Stockholm Series also. In this first section, I kind of keep up. I lose 1.5 seconds only on that first section. That's okay, I think. Notice how he goes right here on the sneaky line. But we're kind of neck to neck. And how he goes for another sneaky right line here. But I'm still kind of catching up. So at this point I've lost in total 2.5 seconds, but I think that's kind of okay. Now here comes the long pedally section, and this is where I think I will lose a lot of time. Yeah, Hugo pulls away a lot. I'm really struggling here. Alright, time's ticking. How much will I lose on this short pedally section? 10 seconds on that pedally section. That's a lot to lose. Alright, so now it's downhill again, and I think I should be kind of able to keep up just as much as I did in the first part of the track. But Hugo pulls away quite a lot. I'm thinking maybe he pulls away more here because I'm starting to fade and get really tired. So my hypothesis is that I don't really have fitness enough to keep up with the faster guys. That's my biggest problem. Alright, so let's make another comparison on the most pedally stage of them all in this race. And we're comparing with Ola, who's probably kind of at the same level as me, although I think he always beats me. Let's say I'm in the bottom of this level and he's on the top of this level. At this first kind of janky semi-pedally section, I think seem to keep up fairly okay. Only lose 0.5 second there. But here comes pedally part, slightly uphill.
Ready. Remember that awful climb.
Now let's see if he can just destroy me on it. Oh, he gains 1.5 seconds, not too bad, but he starts pulling away more. Another semi up and down janky section coming in here. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's really starting to pull away again. I think I'm just too tired here to keep up because it's nothing that really technical, or I don't really see why I'm losing so much otherwise. Time's ticking. And I lose another 5 seconds. And here comes the toughest uphill section of the race. We seem to be equally fast though. For some reason I'm not really losing that much on him here. Well, 1 second. Okay, going to the next section. It starts to point downhill again and it's kind of janky. Ola pulls away. I think it's for me just being too damn tired. And I lose another 5 seconds. Alright, final part. The really tricky part of this stage. One of the trickier parts of the whole race actually. Kinda neck to neck. But then he pulls away. And I make a mistake and lose the line, and Ola's just gone. Yeah, I lose another 7 seconds on that final part. But let's compare one more time with Ola on the final stage. This stage only has like a short pedally section. Let's see how Ola and I compare on this stage.
Oh, so much drier than...
Oh, I'm actually slightly ahead here. Jump. Wrap. Jump. Rail that corner.
Okay.
And now let's compare times after this steep downhill. I'm actually 2 seconds ahead of Ola. Now the only really pedally part. Ola pulls away. He gains half a second on that really short part. Now into the chunkiest part, this stage. We're going separate lines here. And Ola is slightly pulling away, I think. Yeah, he gains another second. Alright, final part now. And now I seem to be pulling away again. Yeah, I'm ahead. Looking really good. I actually think I'm a couple of seconds ahead. But then I make a mistake and can't reach the goalpost. But I win that section with a half a second. So according to this analysis, I actually won the stage, but according to the official timing, Ola won the stage by 2 seconds ahead of me. Not sure what to make of that. So I think the conclusion for me on this is that I need to be faster on pedally stuff. I keep up fairly good as long as it's pointing downhill, but when I need to pedal I just don't have the power. And I seem to fade towards the end of stages. Well, now you wanna know, did I make that elusive top 50% or not, right? Yeah, boy! Yeah, I feel super stoked about having hit my top 50% goal. It was a long time ago, over a year ago since I did it. And it seems like my training schedule actually has paid off. But was it just a one-time thing, or will I make it again? I have 2 more races planned in the 2020 season. So stay tuned to see if I can stay in that top 50%. Like, subscribe and all that stuff. Go crazy! And keep fighting.